It was a cold evening in a quiet town in the United States, the kind of town where everyone knew each other, where children played freely in the streets, and nothing ever really went wrong. But that night, something felt different. The sky was darker than usual. Heavy clouds rolled in slowly, covering the last bit of sunlight. The wind began to whisper through the trees, as if it was trying to warn someone. 8-year-old Daniel was playing outside his house, completely unaware of what was coming. "Daniel, it's getting late. Come inside," his mother called from the porch. "Just 5 more minutes, Mom," he shouted back with a smile. Those 5 minutes would change everything. Within moments, the wind grew stronger. The trees started swaying violently. And then, the first drop of rain fell, followed by another and another, until suddenly, a powerful storm broke loose. Thunder roared across the sky. Lightning flashed like cracks in the darkness. Rain poured down in sheets, turning the streets into rivers. Inside the house, Daniel's mother looked outside again. "Daniel!" she called. No answer. Her heart skipped a beat. She stepped out into the rain. "Daniel!" she shouted louder this time, but the storm swallowed her voice. Panic began to rise. She grabbed a flashlight and ran into the street, her feet splashing through puddles. "Daniel! Where are you?" But Daniel was gone. Just minutes earlier. As the storm began, Daniel had tried to run back home, but the wind was too strong. The rain blurred his vision. He took a wrong turn, then another, and suddenly he realized he didn't recognize where he was. The familiar streets were gone. Everything looked strange, darker, scarier. "Mom?" he whispered, his voice trembling, but there was no reply. The storm only grew louder. Fear wrapped around him like a shadow. Tears filled his eyes. He was lost, alone, in the middle of a storm. Back at home, Daniel's mother had already called the police. Within minutes, officers arrived. Flashlights cut through the darkness. Neighbors joined in the search. Everyone spread out, calling his name, but the storm made it almost impossible to see or hear. Time was passing, and hope was slowly fading. Meanwhile, Daniel stumbled through the rain, his small hands shaking, his clothes soaked. He found himself near a wooded area at the edge of town. The trees loomed over him like giants. The wind howled through the branches. Every sound felt like something chasing him. "I want to go home," he cried. He fell to his knees, too tired to move, too scared to think. And in that moment, he did the only thing he could. He prayed. "Jesus, please help me," he whispered softly. "I'm scared. I don't know where I am. Please, take me home." His voice was small, but his faith was strong. And then, something changed. The wind slowed. The rain softened. And through the darkness, a faint light appeared. At first, Daniel thought it was lightning, but this light was different. It didn't flash and disappear. It stayed, warm, gentle, calming. He looked up, and there, standing a few feet away, was a figure. The figure was dressed in white, not soaked like everything else around, not affected by the storm. There was a glow surrounding him, soft but powerful, peaceful but undeniable. Daniel's fear vanished, replaced by a strange sense of calm. The figure stepped closer, and in a gentle voice said, "Don't be afraid." Daniel wiped his tears. "Are you here to help me?" he asked. The figure smiled. "I've always been with you." The storm still raged around them, but where they stood, there was peace. "Can you take me home?" Daniel asked. The figure nodded and reached out his hand. Without hesitation, Daniel took it. As they began to walk, something incredible happened. The path ahead became clear. The rain no longer blinded him. The wind no longer pushed him. It was as if the storm had no power here. Step by step, they moved forward through the trees, across the muddy ground, back toward the town. Meanwhile, the search team was growing desperate. Hours had passed. Where could he be? One officer said. His mother stood in the rain, tears streaming down her face. Please, bring my son back, she whispered. And then, in the distance, a voice. Mom? Everyone froze. Did you hear that? Someone said. Mom! This time it was clearer. They turned toward the sound, flashlights pointed forward, and there, walking out of the darkness, was Daniel. His mother ran toward him. Daniel! She dropped to her knees and hugged him tightly. You're okay! You're okay! She cried. The officers looked around. Where did you come from? One asked. Daniel turned back, as if to show them, but there was no one there. Only the fading storm. Someone helped me, Daniel said softly. He held my hand and brought me home. Who? His mother asked. Daniel looked up at her and smiled. Jesus. Silence fell over everyone. The storm had almost completely stopped. The clouds began to part, and a soft light touched the ground. Back at home, wrapped in a blanket, Daniel sat quietly, his mother beside him, still holding his hand. Tell me everything, she said. And as he spoke, tears filled her eyes again, but this time they were not tears of fear. They were tears of faith, because deep down, she knew that her son had not been alone. That night, in the middle of a storm, when hope seemed lost, a miracle had happened. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. A quiet reminder that even in our darkest moments, we are never truly alone. Because faith has a way of guiding us home, and sometimes, when we need it the most, help comes in ways we cannot explain. So the next time you feel lost, or afraid, or alone, remember this story, and remember, no storm lasts forever, and no one who truly believes is ever alone. If you believe in miracles, type Amen in the comments. And don't forget to share this story, because someone out there might need a little faith today.